Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager, and I'm into week 37 of the competition. And it's the final race day of the 2021 season, final race of my first year competing in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, so Tier 2 of the single seater series. And things have improved steadily from where we started out. Got very lucky in the first race of the season, but now, as we head into the final round, we've actually not cemented, but at least for the moment, placed ourselves as the best of the rest. Just like in Formula One in real life, there's a big three competing here. They've got a pretty firm grip on the championship. Most of the wins have been earned from among those top three teams. And then there's everybody else. Two teams struggling more than the rest. But other than that, the midfield is quite tight. And I've managed to secure that best of the rest while not really looking the parks. If we look at the drivers' standings, those top three teams are the top six in the standings. And just behind them, where these two teams are that have had a couple winners, Alessi, NATO, they're all above my drivers. And you can see that midfield battle from about Albon on down to Verline. I'm at the bottom end of that. It's just that I've got both drivers managing to score points, while most of the other teams have only had one driver who's been able to score very many points for them over the season. The funny thing is I've been focused on developing one car over the other. We've just been a little bit fortunate to get what I have, especially out of Verline, with a somewhat inferior car. Alright, so we are on to qualifying, and we are all set, ready to go. We've got the cars balanced, not perfectly, but quite well. They're both on 98%. And I had messed around with the setup here. The setup I'm using right now is this 98% setup. So I tried to tweak it, couldn't get it better. I've got 3 sets of tires ready to go, so we will be able to use 2 sets of slicks for qualifying today, and I've got level 1 bonuses. I was hoping to get level 2, but easily made level 1, but we're quite a bit short of the level 2 bonus. All right, we're going to get Verline out there first. We are at Phoenix, but we're not on the oval track. We're using the extended infield road course here in Phoenix. Okay, we're getting up to temperature here pretty quick on this one. Okay, that's a pretty good setup. Just slightly overheated on the brakes. But we're in good shape. Sorry, I had a text to respond to there real quick. And setup's fine. Again, we're at 98%. And De Vries ready to go out for his first lap. And meanwhile, Verline just passes the start-finish line to begin his opening hot lap. His tire temps are not coming up very fast. Oh, it helps if I actually look at the right car. I was following Verline's track there. Alright, so brake temp perfect, tire temp right on the edge of good. Verline half a second short of the top time right now, so he's at least in play, but he's the slowest of those that have crossed the line. Still the slowest, as De Vessa goes top for now. I never qualify terribly well when I focus entirely on race day setup until it's completely locked in, and then I'll slowly begin to look after qualifying. So De Vries puts up a far, far better time than Verline was able to manage. Field's pretty tight, less than a second from first to last, but De Vries comes in at 7th at this point. Track grip could have been a factor, obviously, as Verline went out quite a bit earlier than De Vries did. And with about 3.5 to play and a minute 22, I'm going to need to get Verline going so that I have enough time to get both cars another hot lap in. So we're going to go out with a fresh set of softs and get this underway. Oh, no. Need to stop responding. I had some funny thing that I'm on a car game. I had some car issues yesterday and dropped a coil, so I had a cylinder down for a little bit and had to get a new one in. Okay, I got the tire temps up. Brakes were a little hot. Oh gosh, this is going to be tight on whether De Vries can get this hot lap in or not. Let's see. I'm going to have to run him relatively hot and then back off if there's enough time. He's only got seconds to spare on whether he's going to get this lap in. De Vries is sitting 7th at least. It's Verline who really needed a second go. But if the field improves, he's going to need to get this hot lap in. So I'm definitely running him on the hot side, which is not good. This way he's getting around the track a little bit faster and saving a few seconds. It's going to be really tight on whether he crosses the line before or after time is gone. Massively overheated. It's going to be a terrible lap. Even if he does cross the line. 3, 2, 1. And he came up a second short anyway. So Verline only moves up two spots. Really, now it's only one spot. And that's it. So De Vries is going to start 9th. At least he's in the top 10. Verline is going to start 18th. Let's get you to the race. Alright, race objective is 3rd to hit a bonus. And I have had 2 straight podiums in the last 2 races. And unlike the qualifying setup where it was minuscule, we are fully set for our race day setup. No, I do not want to start on the softs. That won't get me the distance. It's 25 laps. And this is going to be quite a stretch. This might be a 2-stopper. De Vries has a little bit better of a chance of making it on a 1-stop strategy. That's the plan. I really don't want to push either car. We'll push the engine a little bit, but I don't want to push the driving style. Well, okay. We'll go to push, not overtake mode. Alright. It's race day. Let's get on De Vries, team leader. Definitely starting much higher up the grid. In 9th, not a good start from him. Loses 1 space right off the line. But gets things going comfortably. In 10th, though, he's losing some momentum to Galale. Moves right by him, and he's just marching backwards. Boy, De Vries sliding further and further back. 12th place now. Verline is 19th. Verline right away. Let's go ahead and start pushing for late game. He's in last. Tire temperature does still need to come up a bit. So I'll leave him on push for now until we get the tire temps up. But De Vries is marching backwards. How much of that is because we're on mediums? A bit. Some of the softs are the ones that have moved their way ahead, like Galale. Vries fighting for 11th there with Pagenaud. The outside here, chances are he's going to lose that position. He certainly does. Start turning down the engine mode a bit. And there we go. So he's in 12th. We're going to stay on push for now until the tire temps creep up a little bit higher. It looks like on normal they'll probably start to lose some of the temp. Right away, he's starting to lose Pagano as we turn down the engine mode. But it seems to be retaining 12th place okay. Alright, let's go ahead and start to speed things up just a bit as we've got a long race ahead of us. 22 laps yet to go on this one. Vertline finally gets ahead of someone, and those temperatures finally climbed a little bit higher, so we're going to go down to neutral, see if the temperature starts to come down. And already Steady Camera, who's behind us, is going to have to pit. Those softs are not lasting. Not for him anyway. And yes, temperatures are coming back down. So this is going to actually be relatively easy to manage. This is going to be a quick race at this point. Vertline moves up a spot ahead of Steady Camera. Pit in, and someone's out of the race. Alessi's out of the race. That'll help us maintain 4th place in the constructors, as Alessi has been the best of the rest when it comes to point scoring this season, mostly because of their one win. Vries drops a place as King moves ahead. Most of those on the softs look like they're just about to make their first stop. Meanwhile, Vertline is starting to lag a little bit behind, about a 5% difference in tire wear. There we go. Most of the cars on softs just pit. Peugeot had to do some sort of parts repair while he was at it. So Verline's back to last place on the grid for those who have not pit yet, and already starting to drop close to that range where he's going to need to stop. And it's only lap 10. I'm wondering, Vertline, we're going to go for a 2-stop strategy because he's not even close. The tires are going to be shot here. He's going to start losing massive time. Which means if it's only going to be 10 laps, I don't have to fuel up this time at least, so that's quick. 3 seconds in and out for Vertline. De Vries, meanwhile, though, has some hope of making it to lap 13. It's going to be a bit of a stretch. Vertline very quick, in and out. Does pick up a few positions. And he's going to have a lighter fuel load, I would imagine, than some of the other cars. Now the focus is on De Vries. It's already lap 12. So we're going to try to get one more lap. I don't want to push. I suppose we could push here, go into high overtake. Car condition should be very good. Yes, it is. So turn up the engine mode. Alright, this is the lap we're bringing him in. He is just squeezing out that last little bit. And we need to make sure he's got enough to get to the end. So it'll be a single stop for him. This should help. He's actually leading the race at the moment as the last car to come in for a pit stop. But tire wear is down to 5%. Amazed what kind of time he's actually managing to maintain right now. And De Vries heads back out onto the track in 14th place after stretching quite a ways there. Verline moves up to 12. Again, his pit stop was a lot faster, as we did not add any fuel, knowing that he was going to stop one more time. Nine laps to go in the race. Verline is cruising through. Verline's up to 9th place now. De Vries is in 12th, but Verline's still got one more stop to go and will need to refuel on it, so Verline's going to drop to the back. But a number of cars on a two-stop strategy. This could work out well for De Vries on the one-stopper, and he's got one fewer laps to cover this time by going 13 on the first stint, just 12 on the second. Verline, we want to get one more lap around, so there's only 5 to go, as those softs aren't going to last terribly long either. But hopefully he can run a bit faster in that final stint and maybe just make up some positions. Okay, he's going to come in this lap, put on softs. And he's going to need fuel to the end. You know what? The part condition, I'm going to put an extra lap of fuel in, so we can turn up the engine mode. It's the last stop of the year. Let's go ahead and take a little risk. 7-second stop for him. So besides the time on pit road, his total time of pit stops is going to be the same as De Vries, as long as there isn't a mistake. Meanwhile, De Vries is into the top 10 now. Here we go, Verline. No mistakes, no mistakes. And he's back out in 14th. And we're going to turn up both of those modes. We're in the final 5 laps. Here is De Vries now into 7th. De Vessa is pitting right now. And De Vries moves up to 6th. Okay, I just went way too hot on that. I don't know how long it's been up there, but we've got to back off. Meanwhile, you've got some excess fuel, so it's time to step that up a little bit. So De Vries just lost a spot to Matsushita, who's already pit twice, and was at least one of the couple fastest cars out there on track. Nope, you're gonna go to all the way to the end, De Vries. 2 laps remaining, and you've got about a quarter lap to go here. So actually you have excess fuel, so go ahead and go full overtake. Conditions just fine. It's the tires that were really stretching to the end for you, but De Vries running 6th, Verline's running just 13th. It's 2 laps. Overtake, push, try to get up a few positions. Of course, top 6 are the only ones that earn any points. De Vries is just on the edge of that, so Mazepin, Pagenaud also trying to go the distance on a one-stopper. Everybody else has pit twice. It looks like we're going to manage 6th. We do. Verline pushing for 12th. Can't get up. Could not get ahead of Markelov. So we get 6th and 13th on the final race of the year. We do manage to get one more point. Pagano is going to pick up some good points for his team. That could drop us to 5th in the constructors. We'll have to see where that slots us in at. No worse than 5th. Be nice if we were able to hang on to 4th, but I think Pagano might have enough points for his team to jump us. But otherwise, the others in the top 6 are the usual suspects. We just didn't have enough pace. It's even on the one stopper. So DeVries with his 1 point. Wow, look at that. 5 drivers, all on 16 points for the season. And the season's done. I mean, that's impressive. Pagano, most of his points coming in that final race. Verline drops to 13th. Near best of all the second drivers. And we just hang on to 4th place. So we were okay there. So final total for the year is 29 points. Not too shabby. The main thing was to not finish last this season. So to finish 4th in the constructors this year was big. Entering next year, we're going to be in far better shape and hopefully can start to give top 3 a run for their money. Of course, Haas is going to be moving on back up to the AKA Formula 1 level. So really, first season in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, first season in this second tier was huge. You know, the expected result was only 10th, and we managed 4th. So far beyond expectations. The car, which started the year 9th best. There we go. World Motorsport Championship. Russell gets the win in the race. Verstappen was 2nd. This was their final race as well. Final point standings. George Russell is your champion this season. Verstappen was 2nd. Perez 3rd. He's in the Red Bull seat. So just like in real life, the driver that has left that team is Ricardo. Ricardo here, racing for Force India. So those 2 drivers swapped seats. Wow, look how close that was. By just 2 points, Mercedes wins the Constructors' Championship over Red Bull. Such a tight finish there, and it is Sauber who is going to be going down with 10 points on the season, 7 for Bottas, and 3 for Fukuzumi. So Prima is going to survive and remain at that F1 level. So Sauber is going to be swapping with Haas for next season. And meanwhile, for us, it's Russian time racing that's going to be heading down. Giotto and Markelov, the drivers there, they scored just 2 points on the season. Finally, in the ERS, the tier we just moved up from, their champion is Munoz. And the constructors, Rapax heading up. Very, very tight near the top. Really throughout the grid. Less than 100 points separating first to last. So certainly no runaway there. So Mazepin is the world champion with 81 points, far more than most of the teams. 8 podiums, 3 wins, no DNFs, that always helps. Of course, in our series, it's more about those top performances than anything else. And the Haas team with Devesa and Matsushita and still Gunther Steiner, team principal, is heading back on top. Alright, you can see that we've got great driver lineup, second best, best staff, second best pit crew, and most of those top spots are competing against Haas. Middle of the pack in sponsors, dead last in headquarters, and the car went from 9th to 7th by the end of the season, and very much reaching that midfield status as opposed to being distant and last. And that's what made the difference in the end. We were starting to compete regularly for points, even where, like this last race in Phoenix, we didn't have a great race, but we managed to secure points. We're going to be able to do that a lot more consistently next season, and hopefully we can crack that top 3. But I think at worst, we should be able to stay in the position we're in, 4th. DeVries. Not much. Verline's close, but it's DeVries. Okay, pit crew I'm not going to worry about for now. I'll take a look at that later. But we have some end of season matters to deal with. First off being a headquarters upgrade that just finished. Getting still last even with that one. Design, factory are all good. Staff and brand are good. Okay when it comes to the staff. It's the performance center that is lagging well behind. Wind tunnel's the last one that we haven't gotten into. That's to develop the front wing at grade level and beyond. And that's actually probably a good one to invest in at this point. Love to get that road car factory at some point. Brings in over $1 million per race. But that'll bring that last piece in where everything's at least to a great level. And then eventually we'll have to develop beyond that. Alright, car repairs complete. And actually that's something to check into. So here's where that car finished out. We were pretty much right at the bottom on everything at the start of the season. So we reached just about mid-pack. And unlike in previous years, I never really got the parts exactly where I wanted to get them at the end of the year. Okay, we developed a front wing that's now better. Actually, I want to put that on the car. There we go. Those are maxed out. I should put that one on the car as well. Just to be sure that it ends up on next year's car. Because the reliability resets at the end of the year. So we're going to allocate the entire staff here to improving those last 4 parts as best we can till the end of the season, so that next year's car looks a little bit better. And here's our end of season things. So prize money, 26 million. That is fantastic. We nearly doubled our account. Ooh, I got manager of the season. So with low expectations and a quality finish, I got manager of the season. Driver of the season goes to Mazapan, the driver's champion this year. Okay, new rules. We have ERS starting next year with 100 kilowatt hours batteries. And we already went over the promotions and relegations for next season. And we're just about to head to the preseason. Let's see. Sponsors. Okay. All right, we move into preseason mode. And we're going to get into the design. We stored away $15 million for that for this year. That brings our total up to $70 million at this point. I will put together the best car that I can. Base stat modifier. Fuel efficiency is not going to be great, but really strong improvability. And plus 12 to a base stat modifier. This is definitely the one I want to go with for our engine supplier. Now this is questionable. I can improve fuel efficiency and definitely have better improvability. So we're going to go there. Okay, material supplier. Okay. Tire wear is going to at least be strong, but tire heating is not going to be good, but I don't have a good option anywhere on that. That's expensive, though. Okay, tire wear and tire heating here. I could go for a neutral, medium, medium. I'm going to do that. Save $3 million and get quality in both areas. And now the ERS for the first time here in this series. Our battery supplier. Where it starts, it's better to have the best, because the starting charge, you get over that. You move on from that. The one that's most efficient goes over the length of the whole race. even though you start with a very small amount. Amazingly, I actually saved quite a bit of money by going with that as well. Okay, so estimated output, tire wear, tire heating, much better than I had for this past season. Fuel efficiency was about the same, but the improvability is still there this year. I had high improvability, and that was about it last season. So for that, car's in pretty decent shape. That's ouch money. But that's really just the prize money from last year. So we're still about $13-14 million up from where we were at the end of the season. And new chassis is now being worked on. It's going to take quite a while to finish, but it's all set up and ready to go. And that's going to do it for this episode and this season. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.